why you call I heartless. My words may concern you. Oh, my spirit may be bored.
The last time Duane was in the studio, we all agreed that he is an extremely talented artist who should get a lot more ratings than he is currently getting in the industry, which he will be among many, because there are many extremely talented artists in our culture, in our dancehall and reggae culture, but it just seems like, I don't know, for whatever reason possible, the light is not shined on them all the time. But you always say to me, don't really bother you as much as people make it seem like it bother you. Because how do you feel about the fact that maybe sometimes you're not getting the credit that you should get?
You know, you have to just look at what you're doing, you know. Make sure you stay on top of your game, because you never know when your day will come, you know what I mean? You have no bearing over what someone is going to do in the business. And the truth is, Jamaica is saturated with artists. You know what I mean? Every time you go to the studio, you don't just walk inside, you have to wait on somebody coming out there recording 2-3 songs every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact that you even get to play on radio and any notice at all is really a feat in itself. You know what I mean?
So you give thanks for the little things?
Yeah, man, I have to, man.
Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? Send down your angels just to save us when Babylon had tried to enslave us. Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? I cannot face this trial alone. Rasta wield the sword of God alone. Can't say we never see no evil when we see all of the youths they might die. Can't say we never hear the gunshot, tears fall from the eyes. People are fall like rain, seems we immune to the pain. These are the days, things get hard, cause the lights them a fade. Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? Send down your angels just to save us when Babylon is Babylon. Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? I cannot face this trial alone. Rasta wield the sword of God alone. Outer road, no discipline. Man, I live with no care within. Young girl, I bleach, we try fitting. Young boy, I try move fancy kick. These are the times, we are pre-revelation in mind. Come on, David, grab your sheet, follow behind. Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? Go send down your angels just to save us when Babylon. Rastafari and I, please won't you hear me when I cry? I cannot face this trial alone. Rasta wield the sword of God alone.
It's the voice of Duane Stephenson. He is in the building. Now, that was an acoustic set. And Duane has came prepared because Courtney Banton is also Courtney Banton is in the studio. And Courtney, just say hello to everyone in who's listening, of course. You can use that microphone, right? Yeah, many of you may have, some of you may not have heard yet, but Courtney is the father and organizer of New Kingston Band, right? And what role do you play in the band? You also part of the band as well.
Manager, bass player, father, everything.
And long history, because you also have a long history in music as well,
yeah,
right? What do you think about Duane's talent and his music, as someone who's been in it for a very long time?
Awesome, you know. I mean, some other people actually brought me to his attention, to the attention of him. You know, I was in Cincinnati, and some radio people down there was just blasting the music, you know, and I was driving in the car hearing it. I'm like, who is that? And them said, Duane Stephenson. I was like, wow, it's really happening, you know. And then I really started tuning in. I mean, I know him as a good artist from a long time, but to the depth of what I see him coming out now is different, you know.
We can definitely see growth.
Yeah, I would call it a revelation for me, because it's not that it wasn't there, it's just I didn't know the depth.
Duane, what do you think about the new album, Dangerously Roots?
A lot was put in it, and I'm really one surprised at the how people are really taking on to it to the speed, because usually you'd expect that album would grow on people, but when I came here, I was quite and pleasantly surprised at how much support it has been getting. I mean, I knew from early out about your support because I got numerous amount of calls. You know what I mean? But I am grateful for the support, but a lot of work was put in, and I had great people around me this time around going in the studio. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, like, and those of you who are listening, here at Soundchat Radio, when you hear us play a song and we might be beating it in your ears, never once think that we are in some cahoots with the singer. We just look for good songs and try to introduce good music. And again, as I said, I got the album from VP and I put it in, and I'm listening to it and I'm like, yo, this is really good. Ghetto Religion.
Yes, sir.
What's the philosophy or the vibe, the feeling that you had in coming up with the lyrical content for that song?
Well,
how
actually,
meaningful is it to you?
No, this song was actually written by Wyclef Jean and R. Kelly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So both your side and both you and Taurus just sung over a song then?
You understand what I said?
It was a cover?
Yeah, it was a cover, but these songs are songs that were pretty much lost in the scrolls, you know what I mean? Good music that just gone, good music that had great meaning. And now you know the kind of meaning have, because there's a forum for that, because the truth is, them man they do popular music and everything. So even what their passion truly is gets hidden behind everything, because we know the story behind them, man, where them come from and what have you know what I mean?
When it comes to, when we speak of the ghetto, and to me, and this is just me, I don't know if many people would be able to relate to what I'm saying or even agree with what I'm saying. I see the ghetto more beyond a place. I see the ghetto as a lifestyle.
It is.
I see it as a lifestyle because you don't have to be dirt poor to still be a part of the ghetto.
No, man.
And be able to face the effects of the ghetto. So when you took the R. Kelly song and R. Kelly and Wyclef song, what did it mean to you, why you felt that you needed to sing this over?
Because I think that, this represented what we needed, youths to hear. You know what I mean? Not because, that's your foundation, you know what I mean? You can decide whether you can use that stone for use it and try like a man with it, you know what I mean? Or you can build on it and build a great foundation to a castle. You know what I mean? So right now, you need to know, say, instead of throwing these stones around and try to them can use it to build a castle on top of it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. That's my background. But I never I never chose anything else outside of what I do now, music. It was never my place at all, but me go fire shut off. I can't give life, so why I go and take life? You know what I mean? And the truth is, most people in and around the ghettos are hard-working people. You know what I mean? They're very hard-working people that just, 90% of the world is hard-working people, Rasta. Everybody now are rich. You know what I mean? But it's not captivating to see a man like Ragashanti. Ragashanti used to live in Augustown. Ragashanti is a lecturer of philosophy and all these things. Enough man don't know that. Enough man wouldn't care about that. No, them want your Ragashanti talk about some woman and some man and way. For them, that carries more than the fact that this man is such a brilliant mind.
So it goes back to the way, and when we keep it on a music level, when we speak about the music culture, we tend to gravitate to the negative or the 5-day music as opposed to the 5-year music.
It is promoted more, and that is real. You know what I mean? Because the truth is, I go to many places. Them say where music is underground music in Jamaica right now, because that's what roots music was until recently. It's really start surge to again somewhat. You know what I mean? But I've never really had a bad showing anywhere in Jamaica. I go to schools and many tours and everything, and all the kids there singing the song. Who teach them the song, Rasta? It just goes to show that if you play these songs on radio, it will be supported. But and that they must sell. So you can't buy something when I sell, Rasta.
So is it that the dancehall in Jamaica is more marketable than the reggae genre of the culture?
That there's more people that come from a dancehall background and radio more so than anything else, and because of that, of course, there was a great unbalance for many years. But right now, because of the numbers in terms of people surging through with this great music, in terms of there's a lot of artists established that are recommitting to great music now. Of course, there's a great push from a whole heap of young youths we are coming to right now. So with numbers, it's more powerful.
Because it's been said by many artists who have pretty much tried the culture road, right? And we can name at least 5 of them who has tried the culture road and then decided that and publicly also decided that, listen, me I sing culture song and the people them now gravitate to the culture song. So even though, like, I remember having an interview with Conscience on the radio, right? And those of you who follow the career of Conscience, when he started, it was more on, because I kind of thought Conscience was, the name, and the songs he was putting out was, this year gonna be the winner, and more positive type songs.
Yeah, motivating.
Yeah, and more motivated type songs. And then, then he kind of started to do the dancehall thing. And then in a conversation with him, he was saying that when he does the positive songs, don't matter how popular he is, those are not the songs that the radio people gravitate to or the consumers gravitate to.
Again,
but when he says, the dancehall songs, that's what happens. You look at a Natural Blacks then, who publicly said on the radio that, listen, me the 10 albums or whatever albums he's done, and, me have to cut my locks, because me can't feed my pitney, me I sing culture, and culture now feed me. So since slackness I feed the rest of the artists, then me have to go slack as well. I was just watching YouTube over the weekend, and a shock to me that Spanabana, has now publicly went, on media and cut his hair on camera, and it's all over the internet now. And it's just a shame to see that some artists actually can't endure that pressure, and the lack of endurance brings them to a place where they kind of regret dedicating their life to culture music after a while. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, let me give you an example. When I first started hearing about Barry Salmon was a big man. You know what I mean? Barry Salmon already had a different career going, and him singing all of them bad songs, and nobody never paid them no mind. I mean, Barry Salmon a big man, him just come out and say, now look at me. It's a quote, and the whole world said, Barry Salmon, and all of a sudden now, all of his older songs became gems.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, to me, you have to unite for a little bit more than just a glory. And you have to check it too. You might not bust Asylum with a bad tune, but which part it really count? It work, because you're going to the Migla Junction and the whole place level. You understand what I say? You go past Pearl Tree and the whole place level. Yeah, you might not do too well at Manor Park, but so what? You understand? Manor Park is, Kingston and Montego Bay is not Jamaica. You have to know that.
Right.
And the more I go into the roots of the country, the more I realize, I am really well supported. So I'm just going to work with it because, it's only a matter of time before everything else take on. And as long as you're consistently doing great music, you might be surprised where this music will get to you. You know what I mean?
The album is called Dangerously Roots. We're going to do another acoustic set. Are we ready for that?
Yeah, man. The root of where I start, Let's go back to the root. Hey. From day to day we live, searching for our identity, while the rich man says that we're a menace to society. But they don't know what it's like, what it's really like, what it's really like to face real ghetto pain, real ghetto pressure, real ghetto pain, real ghetto pressure, yeah. On and on we go, or as we try to uphold. Brothers turn to crime, fighting each other for a dime. And while the oppressor them say that turning to politics, yeah, is the only way, real ghetto pain. We face real ghetto pressure, real ghetto pain, real ghetto pressure. One day the table will turn, and to all men out there, beware for our barriers will burn. On and on we go, our heads we try to uphold. Yeah, our brothers turn to crime,
fighting each other for a dime. And while the down press of them say that turned into politics, it's the only way or real ghetto pay. We face real ghetto pressure, real ghetto pay, real ghetto pressure, yeah, yeah.
Duane Stephenson is in the building. Now, Duane,
Yes, sir.
a lot of the songs speak about the pressures of the ghetto.
Yeah, man.
And are you coming from a very poor upbringing?
Yeah, definitely. Like most people I know. You know what I mean? Augustin was a working class community. We had a rough time, definitely rough times, you know what I mean? But I came from a situation where for about 4 or 5 years in my life, I hardly even saw my mother, you know, because the hours that she worked was kind of conflicting. So you might see her late at night or early morning if you wake up, and then you gone after school, you come back and just see him process going on, you know. So I had a hard-working mother and, you know, a decent little support system. So as much as those things were very hard, you know, there was always, you know, something to eat, you know what I mean? It was that kind of a community, as I said, by even extension. You know, if things not go bother your yard and the next one you buy, right, you know, that's how we grew up until probably like early teens when things start change with the insurgents of, you know, man come foreign and them make some money, and then of course, you know, them political line, it said they send through guns, and then gang war start and all sort of foolishness. You know what I mean? Truth be told, firstly, this whole album I wanted to really get back to that kind of feel, as I say. And I think that Cool Runnings pretty much, you know, sums up everything that I want the album to be about. You know? So you do these things for 2 reasons. You know, one reason is for the business of the music, which is why you need to learn. You know, you have to educate yourself about the business also. Education generally, but about music business, if you're going to be in the music. It's for publishing. You know what I mean? You get paid on 12 and, you know, you don't really want to talk about them business. But for the business. But secondly, Mr. Fraser always suggests that, you know what, gentlemen, you need to do something. You know what I mean? So you can make the whole time of them, you know. Some of them, of course, are okay. Some need it. But find some gem and do over and reintroduce these tunes to a new generation. And that's what I trying to do right now with this tune. Because we know we not try better Bunny Wheeler, you know, because it not got me, you know.
See.
Bunny Wheeler is a legend, you know what I mean? So the most you can do is pay a tribute.
And it shows appreciation.
Definitely,
It
man.
shows
You know what I mean?
appreciation, and people of this generation who may not be familiar, because here's the truth, and truth be told, when many of us was growing up, we never want to listen to our father music. But if somebody sung it over that we could relate to, we would listen to it without even knowing it's our father music.
True.
You know what I mean? And a lot of us learned our music, and my knowledge of music came from being home with my parents and being forced to listen to Sunday music, because all of us had to do that growing up.
Man, you never have a choice, Rasta.
And when you get older, you start singing these songs like you didn't really know them, but you didn't really know them. Your parents kind of forced you to listen to them.
True.
And I'm saying that to say that the fact that you sung over this song will now bring this generation, because some people are going to know it's a sing over, and some people now have no clue that you actually covered another song. Such as I didn't know that my favorite song on the album was a cover from Wycliffe and R. Kelly. You know what I mean? This one is called Cool Runnings. It's a huge classical song done by the only living whaler, Bunny Whaler.
Dance all night. I dance all night again.
There's several things working against you, you know what I mean? Because, like in a situation like this now,
Call
if
up
I had
Iso.
gone out there and I had recorded all these songs for other promoters, a lot of these promoters, truth be told, I mean, producers are not producers. They're almost parasitic, you know, for the real word. You know, we talk real, so. And the truth is, I've seen it happen to many great artists. I've seen Luciano in a state where he should have gotten a Grammy. And because Luciano, about 10 man, they put out album, the minute them start work the album, when my seriously supposed to have focus on, and everything gets lost in numbers.
The phone lines are going crazy. If you take a look at the phone lines right now, let's see if we can get some reggae fans to join in on the conversation. Caller, you're live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir. That's calling about going into labor.
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't. That's the wrong assessment, and that's his vibe, and that's all it is. And I always enjoy music that way. You know what I mean? And I think it's excellent. We always feel doing excellent stuff. Okay, that.
Okay, so you're a fan of him being laid back. So it is somebody that's saying that you're not laid back. You're
It's not necessarily about, man. It's a deliberate thing, you know what I mean? Because the truth is, he's a man is vicious, you know. And next thing we do all that tune and then it start play up and radio have to run, duck and hide, you know what I mean? I know my style that. I admit that the truth is, you know, especially for the past couple of years, I did take a step back, and that again was deliberate. So, you know, that could come with an album like this. Because I went through a process of searching. Because you can't take yourself for granted to say the best things in sliced bread.
Seen.
You know, there must be a reason why I was pretty much, you know, partially marginalized and everything. There's a reason for everything, you know. So you pull back a little bit and you see what's going on in general.
Sometimes you have to subtract to add.
Yeah, man.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
Oh, Julie, look what you've done. Look what you've done. Julie, look what you've done. What you've done. I was a man on a mission, trying to take over the world with my music. Oh, yes, I rock it to groove it. I was a man on a mission till your love got into the way. Girl, you changed me, you've changed me, you've changed me. Oh, Jolene, look what you've done, look what you've done. Oh, Jolene, look what you've done, look what you've done. Jolene, look what you've done, look what you've done to me. Oh, Jolene, look what you've done, look what you've done. Look what you've done, look what you've done. Oh, Jolene, oh, look what you've done.
Another single from the album called Julene.
Yeah.
And I believe that one was done with
Ayactane. Yeah, man.
And definitely a nice little vibe on the album. Working with Ayactane, how did that come about?
You know, we needed personas for this album. You know, not just talent. So that song needed a persona like Ayactane. So it's not just him talent we get on the album, it's him whole persona, I mean. And I use a man to listen to the album. Try imagine the collabs switched around. It's almost impossible because you realize that maybe these artists are just as talented, you know, equal in what they're doing, but in terms of their persona,
Right.
it's a whole different vibe, which is what a lot of people miss. But as I said, this time we went through the album with a fine-tooth comb, and everything is very deliberate. You know what I mean?
So no accidents on the album.
No, man.
No
like
buck
that
up no
Rasta.
dip on the
Not
album.
like that
Everything
Rasta.
was tailored to fit.
Yeah, man. I mean, there are songs where, you know, we're done with the whole thing, reaching a listening session, almost ready for mix. And you realize, you know, so the bass line is not what we want because when we say dangerously roots, we want, as much as how the melodies may be nice and the words are great and everything, we need it to be roots. So we just call him back a different bass player and say, listen, roots up the thing.
So go ahead, Ninja.
So was there songs that was done that didn't make the album?
There were one or two, you know, we had a listening session and it was general that, you know, some things were, the album was a little bit too long and we needed to make some changes, you know what I mean? We had professionals in there in the music industry, stalwarts, and just two Joe from down the road, you know what I mean? You can't leave them out of the process. And we listened to what people had to say and we made some adjustments as we saw fit. Coming from, you know, the general thing. Because you now can't suit everybody, you know, but you come to compromises.
Right.
You listen and know what is more important you did. So we have one or two songs that we took off the album that are still great songs that will come out as single, but it wasn't right in context of the album.
What makes, for those who may be lost, based on what you just said a few minutes ago, what makes the product roots?
Definitely the drum and bass Rasta. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that an album can be roots music and listen to things. So, yeah, man, fire bun pan Babylon and rare. But since we get in a liquor box there, you know what I mean? Since we reach us, so that wasn't the case. You understand? And all of the greats from Jimmy Cliff to Bob Marley to Toots Animators, all the greats show you say, reggae is something that can talk. We talk about love, we talk about relationships, we talk about social situations, we talk about empowerment, we talk about, you know, justice and peace and love and all them things. This is, so reggae has no boundaries. So all of a sudden, for marginalize the thing now, I say, boy, yeah, man, I just roots music at 2 man wrap up with Bobo, I say, boy, Ray, bun this and bun that. That's not the case. That is why right now, you know, when you call up all and yet music and all them kind of vibe, and that's not what I wanted for this album. I wanted the true roots. You understand? So we're lacking on the drum and bass wicked. So if you even listen to the things, so as much as even a tune like Simply Beautiful, such a nice words and everything, but listen to, just take off the words and tune into the rhythm itself.
So
Serious roots music.
What makes it roots music is the rhythm.
Yeah, man, drum and bass rasta.
Now
That's how we're known for.
This is where I pull Courtney into the conversation, because he is someone who's been playing music for a very extensive time. And Courtney, the other day I was speaking to somebody, and I didn't know your because you know, I know you from being the father of New Kingston band and being in the music, but I didn't know that you were really in the music as you know, in your youngest days and so forth. Where are you coming from in the music?
Well, I come from a long generation from Lighter Saba, you know, Cedric Brooks, you know, Rasta music, you know. Played drums. I was a drummer at the Jamaica School of Dance, you know, to play Congo drum, Nyabingi drumming and stuff like that. So I come to a different spectrum, you know, of the music.
Who are some of the people that you worked with along the way?
Well, originally, people like Pablo Moses, Sugar Minot, Yellow Man, I toured the Yellow Man, you know, a lot of people, almost everybody.
Do you agree with Duane when Duane says the roots is the rhythm?
Definitely. The drum and bass is the root of reggae, is the foundation. You know, I mean, the reggae music relies a lot on the bass line, you know, so it's really the foundation of reggae, is the drum and the bass, you know. You could actually dance to the bass line alone, you know, if you know what I say? You drop everything out and play the bass line alone, the place rocking.
Those of you who's just joined us back, of course, we're speaking to Courtney Panton, who's in this building. He's the one that's playing the acoustic guitar, and of course, Duane Stephenson, and we are talking about the new album, Dangerously Roots. We went through some tracks. Duane has given you guys some acoustic versions. I have given you guys some actual tracks from the album, and we're gonna keep that energy going, right?
Na 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 na. A word from the wise: don't try to make life on your own. Remember that judge is by your side. For I was a soul who was lost, and my life was in dismay. For among evil forces in which I played, guns and ammunition were my chosen way of life. With God-fearing people I chose to strive. And all of the lives that I've taken, they can never be replaced. But still Judge chose to remember my face. For I never lived like he wanted. I was mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bended knees. 'Cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. Barely made it along life's road. When my life got dark, he was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. When I was a young boy, growing up in Augustown, we ate from the same pot, we were hydrants all around. From Gola to Color Red Corner, Bryce Hill to Dreadites and River, Bryce Hill to Dreadites and River, all around all the time. And then the football ground became a battlefield, and my life seemed so surreal. People, they were falling all around, but Jah helped me to stand my ground. Only Jah, yes, only Jah could have helped me to stand my ground. For I never lived like he wanted. I was mindful of what he taught. Now I beg and plead on my bended knees, 'cause Father, you rescued me. And I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along this road. Oh, when my life got dark, he was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. Na 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 na. Oh, yeah.
You were saying earlier that the bass line is the rutical, the drum and bass is
serious drum and bass rasta. You know what I mean? And you know, people tend to mistake the music for many things, you know. Of course, I think reggae music has always been the conscience music of the world. It's the music you can depend upon for, you know, bring up things everybody else I try. You know what I mean? Because one of the main and strongest forces behind even, you know, the freeing of South Africa has always been reggae music, you know what I mean? Started from Peter Touch and continued all the way up. But we can't forget, say, you know, musically, it's directly drum and bass rasta.
Caller, please hold. Do you
Yeah, man.
caller, please hold? Do you feel that the message today
Yeah.
is still in the music?
It is definitely in the music, you know. It's just that, you know, we tend to like to segment the thing all of a sudden. We take a nice root song and, you know, if it's a sing about a girl, I say, yeah, man, I lovers rock and thing. Lovers rock? Seriously? know
So
what I
you
mean?
think a lot of the lovers rock is actually
It's reggae music.
It's reggae music.
Yeah, man. A lot of the lovers rock music, we understand the lovers rock thing, you know, where it swing a little bit more and have a little R&B flavor. We understand that. But sometimes you have some serious, look on a song like,
Yeah, man.
brown skin, girl, I wanna a reggae music that was stand everybody. Lovers, all of a sudden, you know, Richie Spice starts in lovers rock. You understand what I say? Just because you must sing a different thing now, it all of a sudden become lovers rock. I mean, Sizzla used to be in the same classroom at one point, you know. I mean, where he lives right now is a place that we used to, you know, try to on a regular because my family's property is right next door to him, and so I've known him from then. But in terms of
Music.
being music in the same space, we've never been because, you know, of course, he started also under Mr. Fraser's patronage, but then he kind of moved on from that, and then we were like, you know, between myself and Taros and probably one or two other people like Sharita, we pretty much surrounded ourselves with Mr. Fraser as like a new movement that he was doing, you understand? So we never really had that much in common except for the music business, you know what I mean? But I do know him.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask you that, you know, wouldn't that be like a really good project, like a Sizzla, Itana, Duane, Stephenson project?
That would be, trust
that
me, you know,
would
that would
really
definitely
be
be
like
great, man.
Augustone, you know, because I believe that you guys would be probably the more bigger artists coming from Augustone.
Yeah, because there are some budding artists coming from places, people like, you know, influential and those people. But in terms of putting something together with Sizzla and Itana, the main problem we probably find ourselves with is time and place. You know,
Time
because
and place, yeah.
everybody is pretty much vibrant and, you know, doing all sorts of other things, you know what I mean? Because we do, you know, venture into other things. Especially Sizzla is a man where I was up to something else other than music, you know. That's one thing I've always known
Admired
about him. Yeah, man, definitely.
In 10 words, you know, sell me your album. What would you say?
I would say it's very interesting, enlightening, and entertaining. You know what I mean? Totally awesome album. The work has been put in, and now you should reap the rewards, Rasta.
Now, I've been telling you guys this for a couple of weeks now, man, and I hope that you guys further understand what I'm talking about. The name of the album is called Dangerously Roots. It's a good album. Good tracks are on the album. It's coming from a very good artist. Some of you say that he's laid back. Some of you says that the fact that he is laid back is why the music is so melodious and so enjoyable. Buy the album. Support the project. So often we complain that the artists them now put out a good song. And, you know, a lot of you guys call here at Soundchat, and also I do it as well. Like, yo, the good music now come out of yard right now. So when good music does finally come out of Jamaica, we kind of have to support it, or it's kind of hypocritical. You know, it's hypocritical to kind of, you know, critique the music and say that it's not good, but when something good comes out, we don't make that extra effort to encourage more of that situation. We are seeing many people don't like to call it revival, but we are seeing a resurgence of reggae at the forefront now in Jamaica. How does that make you feel?
Well, definitely good. You know, once there's some leverage now on radio generally, which is great for us. You know what I mean? So now you have an opportunity to put your best foot forward and let the music carry you. You know what I mean? Because all you should need is an opportunity, not something, you know, just to be given to you. Because and that's a life work, Rasta. You know, so the fact that we have some leverage right now is an opportunity for all roots artists to really step to the forefront and just show the people what them about. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm urging Duane, and I've been speaking to him and his management team off the air, but urging them to do a little bit more appearances, you know, because I think that listening to your music and then, you know, kind of incorporating it with your personality will allow someone to buy into your product even more. You know, just the humbleness that you have about the music, and not many people would take the approach and say, boy, everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and there's a reason why I may not be getting that limelight that everyone is saying that I'm getting. Everything happens that it's, you know, the most people would just come in and say, yeah man, I true, you know, a long time them a fight me out of the thing, and you know, a good music me I make a long time and the man them a fight the thing. But the fact that you're so humble with it and say, my time is coming, I'm just gonna put in the work and keep putting in the work, and they're gonna have to notice me for the quality of the work. I think it says a lot for your character. It says a lot for your music, and definitely got to say good luck on this project and good luck on the projects to come, because I know this won't be the last project.
Definitely.
As long as breath is blowing, this definitely will not be the last project. Got to ask you this. I ask every artist. Some of them say the same answer, but I'm going to, you know, just put it out there. You can't say that every track is your favorite track. What would you, if you had to pick one track, which track on the album is your favorite?
You know, definitely it would be Jareen, you know, for many different reasons. But since we've already played Jareen, I think I would definitely suggest Sorry Babylon.
Sorry Babylon. I
Yes,
like that
Rasta.
track as well. Ninja, let's close it off with Sorry Babylon.
I tread through darkness. Why you call I heartless? My words may concern you. Oh, my spirit.
Duane, is there anybody that you want to big up before we go?
True, for me, just have to big up all the listeners, all of the people who have been supporting the music over these years. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about just my music, but reggae music as a whole.
I'll never forget.